Red Pill, the Incel Rebellion, or the Rise of the Angry Young Men. In the 1999 film The Matrix, there is a pivotal scene in which the character Morpheus offers Neo the option of taking a red pill or a blue pill. Morpheus tells Neo that if he takes the red pill, he will be shown the truth, no matter how difficult it may be, whereas the blue pill will keep him blissfully ignorant. The red pill concept has since been adapted and popularized by the manosphere, specifically the online men's rights movement. It is associated with the idea of awakening to a supposedly hidden or distorted reality of truth about gender relations by mainstream society, particularly feminism. According to this belief system, the reality is that women rule the world without being held accountable, while men are powerless and voiceless. This narrative, which is frequently shared in online forums and communities, portrays men as victims of societal norms and, most of all, feminism. This promotes a critical perspective on gender roles, relationships, and women's rights. The red pill is seen as a way to awaken to this truth, to see the world as it truly is, and to reject mainstream or blue pill societal norms within the manosphere. It has evolved into a multi-voiced narrative, representing a male complaint at the heart of the manosphere, which includes various online communities devoted to men's rights activism and dating strategies. It isn't surprising that some of the most extreme and hateful opinions frequently gain attention in the manosphere. For example, Rouge V, a prominent figure in the manosphere, once advocated for the legalization of raping a woman on private property, which he later claimed was a joke. Rouge V's extreme views went beyond online rhetoric when he attempted to organize a meetup of like-minded men at Toronto's provincial legislature. A local group of female boxers objected to his event and threatened to disrupt it with violence. As a result, Rouge V had no choice but to cancel the event. The manosphere has been undergoing rapid evolution in recent years. Over the past decade, there has been a shift in the demographics of the community, with a decline in the population of men identifying as men's rights activists, MRA, and men going their own way, MGTOW, which are typically older and less prone to violence. In contrast, younger and more toxic communities such as pickup artists, PUA, and involuntary celibates, incel, have seen a spike in popularity and follow Rouge V and celebrities like Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate, a former professional fighter turned media personality, has received both praise and condemnation for his viral rants about male dominance, female submission, and wealth. He is the typical alpha male. Tate's ideas have taken roots in the minds of many young men who see him as a role model of masculinity. Despite being banned from major social media platforms and facing controversy for his violent and hateful behavior, Tate's influence was particularly visible on TikTok, where his account received a staggering 11.6 billion views before being removed. His rhetoric has also spread to other social media platforms and podcasting platforms, where he and other like-minded people advocate for so-called male supremacist views. These perspectives advocate for high-value or hypermasculine men who are wealthy, confident, influential, sexually dominant, and entitled to women's subservience. Tate's influence within the manosphere has grown rapidly, particularly amongst younger men who may be more susceptible to his extremist views. Tate's ideas have had an impact that extends beyond online spaces. There have been reports of students as young as middle schoolers repeating his diatribes and harassing female classmates, leading to incidents of sexual harassment in schools in the UK and Australia. Despite his controversial and harmful views, Tate continues to have a following of men who look up to him as a role model for masculinity, highlighting the dangerous influence that such ideologies can have on impressionable people, particularly young men. What's more, there appears to be a significant migration from men's rights groups to incel groups. Since 2015, an estimated 8% of MRA or MGTOW members have become radicalized and joined incel groups online. This shift in the manosphere community raises concerns about the growing radicalization of some of its members. It emphasizes the fluid nature of the online landscape, as well as the shifting ideologies and demographics within the manosphere. It also emphasizes the importance of critical thinking and discernment when engaging with online communities, as well as addressing harmful harmful and toxic ideologies that may be perpetuated within them. The content on the manosphere may present disturbing perspectives on women, but it also provides explanations and solutions to the real challenges that young men face today. Men are falling behind in education, economic engagement, and intimate relationships according to data. Over the last decade, male economic inactivity has increased, sexual activity has decreased, and male suicide rates have risen. Loneliness is also on the rise, particularly amongst young men. The manosphere speaks to the real-life experiences of young men who may be dealing with romantic rejection, alienation, economic struggles, loneliness, and a bleak outlook on the future. The University of Washington conducted research that shed light on how societal masculinity expectations influence men's behavior. According to the findings, men who believe they fall short of traditional masculine ideals frequently seek to reassert their masculinity in small but significant ways. While some of these behaviors may appear amusing, other research has shown that compensatory actions for perceived masculinity can have negative consequences. Men with baby faces, for example, who may be perceived as less traditionally masculine, were found to have more assertive and hostile personalities, and even engage in criminal behavior. Similarly, when men were told their masculinity scores were low, they were more likely to be aggressive, harass women, and belittle other men. Male marginalization is frequently blamed on the effects of feminism, which is the advocacy of women's rights on the basis of political, social, and economic equality with men. Some people believe that feminism has resulted in a shift in power dynamics, with women gaining more rights and opportunities at the expense of men. This viewpoint frequently contrasts women's accomplishments and progress with men's challenges. It may, for example, highlight how far women have come in areas such as education, employment, and leadership roles, while also highlighting issues that men face, such as higher rates of unemployment, workplace injuries, and lower representation in certain fields. This claim, which implies that female empowerment must necessarily result in male disempowerment, is frequently supported by simplified and pseudo-scientific biological and pseudo-economic theories. Some may argue that biological differences between men and women inherently disadvantage men, or that feminist efforts to promote gender equality have resulted in men being treated unfairly. One thing is certain. Many manosphere beliefs are based on mainstream ideas about sexuality and gender. When they are unable to form meaningful adult relationships, most young men become frustrated. This resentment manifests itself as hatred for women and alpha males. Alpha males because they always seem to get what they want. This leads them to manosphere organizations, where they meet other men who hold similar beliefs. The evolution of the manosphere and the rise of figures like Rushvi and Andrew Tate illustrate the complex and changing landscape of online communities centered around masculinity. While some may find value in these comments for self-improvement or camaraderie, others see them as perpetuating harmful ideologies and promoting toxic behaviors. It is important to approach these communities with critical thinking, consider diverse perspectives, and promote healthy and respectful relationships between genders. The manosphere has gained traction in some segments of society, particularly among young men, with its often toxic and harmful ideologies. To counteract its negative effects, having early conversations about gender relations and healthy relationships can be a proactive approach. Beginning these discussions at a young age can help individuals develop a nuanced understanding of gender dynamics, as well as promote healthy and respectful relationships based on mutual consent, communication, and equality. This can include discussions about consent, boundaries, diversity, and healthy masculine and feminine expressions. Educational institutions, parents, and communities can all play an important role in promoting these discussions, implementing comprehensive and inclusive sex education in schools while addressing topics other than physical health and includes discussions on emotional well-being, relationships, and consent can be a critical step. Parents can also encourage open and non-judgmental communication with their children, encourage them to express their thoughts and concerns about gender roles, relationships, and societal expectations. Positive role modeling and challenging harmful gender stereotypes can also help shape healthy attitudes towards gender relations. By encouraging early discussions about healthy relationships and gender relations, we can help young people develop their capacity for critical thought, empathy, and respect for people of all genders. This can act as a deterrent to the damaging ideologies spread by the manosphere and promote a more welcoming and equitable society. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave it a like and share, and keep watching our channel for more interesting content. Ciao.